say to me, take a wild guess. Good riddance. She said to me, good riddance. And I literally, the last person I remember seeing that day, and I wish I could see her again afterwards so that I could say, you know what, it's not your fault, but you worked for a tyrant, is Sally Blanchard. Remember her?
Mm-hmm.
She was the last one I saw. Sweet, and I wouldn't say necessarily innocent, but in this case she was. Sweet, nice lady. Wound up hearing the last words I had to say about Jane Sanders in that building. Aside from what I was telling Rosie and Sandy about that particular meeting. And that was only in a school this fucked up would somebody violate civil rights laws and then tell the person who they violated for 4 years to go drop dead. It's sick and it's sad, but it's true. All those things they just heard happened. This is the most condensed form of this story that I can possibly come up with. I have planned and planned and planned, rewrote and rewrote for years. And I said, I'm not going to do it until I know that I'm safe from retribution. I'm still not sure as I'm safe from retribution, but I'm closer to safe than I would have been if Jane was still president of the college. That's why I chose to do it now. Now the only person that I have to worry about going after me from the college that I've named is Art Hessler. And him I would like to see removed before I even deem working at the college again in any favorable light. Would you concur at all with any of that, or do you have anything to add to any of that?
That sounds right.
And how about your experiences, just quickly over here? Yeah, throw you for a loop there, did I?
My experience.
Take your time.
My experiences.
Forgot how you use your voice, did you?
No. Okay, so my experiences, well,
Well, here, let me ask you some direct questions. Maybe that'll help. How would they compare on a scale of intensity, 1 to 10, 1 being the least intense and 10 being as intense as what I was just talking about? From your perspective, of course.
My perspective.
And this is just political, like Jane Sanders and administrative stuff, not necessarily the students. So.
Yeah. So Jane and the administrative. I mean, yeah, I mean.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you say? 10 being as bad, 1 being nowhere near as bad. If you just had to place a numerical on it.
About, I would say, 6 or 7.
Okay, so pretty close. How about, or midway anyway. How about with students between the writing of people and stuff that we ran into during the Burlington College Presents Season 2, the ill-fated season, and the shooting of Lucid Control. Same numerical scale, what would you say?
About a 7 or 8.
Okay, so you're pretty close again on that one. Okay. How about this is more of a answer with the words question, but I've been asked this question several times, and I'll give the answer to it. I was asked if I had to do the whole thing over again, would I? And knowing what I know now, I'd probably say no. Overall, but do I totally regret going to Burlington College? No, how can I? I met some very interesting and fascinating people that I'm still in contact with, and I still follow certain adventures of certain people, though I'm not in direct contact with them now.
Yeah.
And of course, not in a creepy way, but well, I'm saying that in case somebody hears this and goes, I wonder if he's following me.
Yeah.
But it's with a marked interest in how well is this person doing, because they seemed like a person that should do very well with stuff. Like, as I said before, Mary Vidham.
Yeah.
Fantastically talented person. I hope to God she gets over her fear of sitting in public, because she sings fantastic. Like, she sounds like Alanis Morissette and Judy Garland in one. Which, if you ask me, you cannot ask for a better vocalist than that. But anyway, she sings well, she paints well. Well, she draws pretty well from what I've seen. And her poetry is great. How do you go wrong? Multi-talented, very intelligent woman.
Yeah.
So, it's people like that I follow. The adventures of online, like, what are they posting, what are their latest pictures if they have them, things like that. And it's not like I can remember any of it off the top of my head, per se, but it's like I have a cursory knowledge of stuff. So, I'm not that creepy, but, But anyway, I guess my question out of that to you is, if you had to do it all over again, would you, and why or why not?
If I had to do it all over again, I mean, in certain aspects. I mean, I would do it all over again. I mean, maybe not exactly what I did. Maybe in a different course of studies or whatever. But and a few other things. Obviously, I wouldn't want to repeat.
But outside of that, would you?
Outside of that, yeah, I would.
Okay, and then why or why not? So in this case, why?
Because even though there was because there was a lot there because of the good things. Sure, there are bad things, and then there are things that were outright ugly. Um, without getting into a good, bad, ugly segment, but uh, you know, there was definitely a lot of good things.
I can't argue that about the good things, because there were certainly a lot of good things to come out of it, but it doesn't mean that everything was easy, necessarily.
No.
And I guess just quickly I should add a PS story, and then we'll peace out on this series, what do you say?
Sure.
Okay. Well, this PS story is very simple. I went to college at Burlington College. I had my civil rights violated, as you just heard, in all the ways that you've heard over the course of the podcast thus far. And then at the end of it, I had my civil rights violated again by somebody that you can hear on one of these podcasts. So, when I say I had my civil rights violated by this person said to me things like, well, it depends on what you did as to whether or not you actually had your civil rights violated. And this person accused me of lying to them when I hadn't lied to them at all. This person told me that I needed to start wanting to do things in bigger groups with this person and several of their friends. Otherwise, I could take a hike. So this person gave me an ultimatum. And I'm not saying any of this to be malicious, because this person and I have moved on from this point, and I wouldn't say I've done the forgive and forget mentality of it, but I've done the I'm going to give you a second shot, and if you go anywhere near this stuff again, I'm going to call you out on it thing. But there were also some outrageous statements made that I won't get into, because that's a podcast worth in and of itself. But this person said all this stuff to me, and the point that I feel like I need to make with this is that it doesn't matter if it's an organization doing it or if it's one person doing it. This stuff hurts. It shouldn't happen at all. And I'm not going to split hairs as to who was worse and stuff, because in all technicality, as bad as it was to get hurt continuously by an organization that I was paying to try to get a good education from, it hurts even more when a friend does it. So, with that said, that's been moving violations. Hopefully, if we haven't been exactly amusing all the time with this, we've been at least somewhat enlightening as to what we've been through, or what I've been through since I just did the monologue podcast. And my apologies to anybody that this may or may not offend, but take it as a historical document that these are things that I have to live with on a daily basis, that I have to try to remember so that I don't fall for the same kind of behaviors and stuff. And